Hi folks, this is Vishal from Tech Interview Insights, and today we are going to learn a basic concept of checksum in system design. My aim in this channel is to explain things in the most simplified manner to you all so your fundamentals are clear and laid out strong. Alright, so let's get started. We have a user A who wants to write a data into an application. So let's say that the data, we call that data as X. So here is the request, and that request goes to the application. Let's say that the application is having a web server which receives all these web requests, and that data basically gets written into the database over here, right? And now there's a user B who wants to get that same data from the application. So he's going to request get data X. It receives back to the web server, and the web server queries that request, do you have X in the database? If the database has the value X, which in this case it will have, it will send that value back to the web server, and the web server sends that value back to B. Then here you go, here is your data. Now the problem over here is, we change the color. How does B know that the value X which it received from the web server was the same value X which was written originally by the user A, right? In this case, A is basically the originator of the data, we call basically as the source of the data, and which wrote initially the value X into the database, right? And B is nothing but, you can call it as a reader of that same data, or you can also call it this as a writer of the data, right? A writes the data and B reads the data, and the fundamental problem here is, how does B know that the value which it got from the web server, which is this X, is the same as the value which was written by the originator of the data? In order to solve this particular problem, we have a solution, and the solution is to use something called as cryptographic hash functions. I will call it as crypto hash functions over here, and there are many available currently. I'll give you an example of MD5. There's also SHA-256. I'll create a separate video which will kind of give you a high level understanding of what these crypto hash functions are. But in a one liner, these crypto hash functions are nothing but a general function. I will call it as a hash function, and what it does is it basically takes in a data input as a parameter, and what it returns back is basically the hash of that data. Let me call that string as a hash underscore data, right? This is basically an alphanumeric string, and it contains letters and numbers of fixed length. So let me give an example over here. In this case, if the user A wants to write data called as tech interview insights into the application, this is a long string, right? And if this data, which I will call it as an X, is supplied to this hash function, right, over here, what this will return will be nothing but, it will be some string, alphanumeric string ABC12. If you see, the length of this could be maybe like 15 plus characters, but if you see this length, it is just exactly 5 characters. So whenever we get this request from the user that you want to write this data X into the application, the web server basically will have these crypto hash functions available. It will apply these crypto hash functions on the data, and it will not only store now the value X into the database, it will also store the hash of X into the database. So this is a concept of storing or writing the crypto hash value into the database. The value which we call this as hash data, this is also sometimes referred to as checksum. How this will be beneficial? When the user B will request the data X, the web server now will not only return X, it will also return the hash of X or the checksum of X. So over here also the user B will get hash of X. So now the user B gets basically the original value and the hash of that value. And at the same time, server will also communicate that, hey, I have used MD5 algorithm for crypto hash function. So the user B is going to get three values now: X, which is the original data, the hash of X, and also an information that I have used MD5 as the algorithm. The user B can take this X, apply the hash of it to produce a new value, right, which is called as hash of X, right, and then compare this value with the checksum which was provided by the server. If these two values match, then I'm happy, which means that whatever the server provided in the form of the value X is exactly the same as what was written by the source or the originator of that data, and the data has not been tampered. In short, in system design, there's a concept called as data integrity, and we can say that the data integrity is maintained, which means that the accuracy and consistency of that data during the entire life cycle has been maintained. This is how the checksum is utilized in system design. All right, hope you found this lecture useful, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting some more and more interesting videos for you guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye.